making certain analysis. They analyzed America. We say that they fed all information in their computer and their brain about America, American history, American environment, but they have desired outcome. What we want all this information to say. So they manipulated all the information as for a desired outcome. They want to, and I think, remember in our setup, they had the Republican lady there, and we talked about, well, in our goals. I mean, we have to have a vision, you know, of where we want to go, and we have to be mission orientated. Every organization knows that. Okay, if you're on a football team, we got a mission. Our mission is to be the best in this league. And every medal that they give out, we're going to win that. That's your mission. Along with that mission, as all things, is camaraderie, right? Each member of the team assist each other when they have a better opportunity to score. I put the team over myself. You know what I mean? And, you know, I don't want to change the subject, but I was gone during a lot of the 70s. And I was watching a documentary on Dr. J. I had no idea. I knew he was. But I didn't know his history. You know what I mean? I didn't know how bad he was. I had no idea. That he was badder than the bad during this time, and everybody that's bad after that copied him. I didn't know what he had did for basketball. I didn't know any of those things. And a lot of people don't know the type of hero he is. He didn't go crazy like some other nigga, right? Stayed a good, strong family man, you know what I mean? And how he knew how to gain respect for the people and people to gain respect for the game, and how they incorporated the NBA. I had no idea. And then the stuff he was doing, I guess before they didn't allow you to dunk. And they showed how that boy used to play. I say, good God Almighty. And he did one show-off thing. He run up to the free throw line and took off and dunked from the free throw line. So good God Almighty.
You ever see that one where he came to the basket and Kareem had him blocked? He pulled it down and went to the other side of the basket.
They showed that. Okay, when I came to D.C., it was a group of Negroes that they were the sports Negroes. Yeah. They wanted to put a big screen TV in the little Masjid, and they had pizzas and everything. At that time, I'd come into D.C. and work every day, then I'd go out. I was out there in Manassas for a while on the farm till we bought the place around. So some people here know what we're talking about. They are the sports pizza type crew. Saturday. Out there right off Allentown Road, we'd be out there, they'd have big boxes of pizza, the fight doctor would be there, all the old time Negroes, they would be there. Y'all know them all. So they showed a video of Michael Jordan. Now, you can imagine I've been involved in movement for the last, at that time, 20 years. I hadn't paid no attention. I remember the last games I saw was the LA Lakers. I was in jail, and I saw the LA Lakers. I saw Magic Johnson and what's the other?
Kareem.
Kareem. They was down there. Maybe it was early 80s or something. Okay. So that's the only games, and I happened to just would be going by the TV room and look over. I was at Lum Park Camp at that time. Okay. So they had a video of Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan's hero was Dr. J, because Dr. J was at one place and Michael Jordan was there, and so he looked from he had retired, so he looked down, they was doing that dunking stuff. So Dr. J looked at Michael Jordan and said, go ahead. In other words, the thing that nobody had did, that I did, go on do it. And that's what Michael Jordan said. And he said, I went back to the free throw line and jumped and he did it. But they were showing Michael Jordan how he looked like he'd be walking in air. I said, that man. I said, y'all think I'm a fool. I said, can't nobody do that. I said, that's, what do they call it, special effects type stuff?
Levitation.
Yeah, that's special effects. I said, can't nobody go up there, spin around twice, and drop the ball in the basket? You can't do that. Because everybody, I knew they did free throw, they did a set shot. You know what I mean? When I used to play basketball, I remember the sky hook, was that Will Chamberlain, the sky hook, I mean, but I looked at that, I said, that ain't true. I said, and I knew it wasn't true, because I just hadn't seen, I had been out of the sports world for 4, 5, 10, 15, at least 15 years. Because that's in 89 and 90. I knew couldn't nobody do that, what he was doing. You know, if I hadn't seen Dr. J, I didn't know nothing about no Michael Jordan. And I saw him doing it, I said, it ain't possible. I said, how can you walk in air? Niggas can't, they walk on water, but they can't walk in air. That's a little too much. You know what I mean? Jesus, yes.
That's his logo. The logo you see on his shoes,
right.
That's what that is. That was when he went to he was walking, that's the logo on the shoes.
I was like, good. Anyway, that's why you got to keep up on modern times. That's why, let's go back to being off course and adjusting the course. They need, the people out there, they need a course correction. Because they're off course. All we need to do, we're on the right course, we need to adjust our course because of the things that come up. Like if we go out there to a little meeting and we see where they are, we know that there's no use wasting certain energies on certain things. So we have to make a mile, yes.
Tell them what you did when you were out there and you had your package with you,
right? And
you were doing the Quranic ayats,
right.
And when it got to a certain point, tell them what you did with that.
No, well you can remember when we're talking in the thing, and they diverted 100% the whole process. Here's how they diverted it. We got the root, the real thing you gotta have. How do you want to look in America? What do you want the Islamic movement to look like? And I told them, I said, you got everything. You got thousands of Masjid now, you're upper middle class, you're well educated, don't worry, you got everything you need. So, they moved away from vision and everything, and they went to secondary. They moved from primary to secondary. And in secondary, they brought up all the things that they already do. So we got to vote, right? They was doing it on purpose. So I'm sitting there with Nihad. I sit next to Nihad on purpose,
right?
You know. So after a while, I just closed it up. I don't know if you remember. I just closed up the folder. I said, they don't want to hear it. They ain't about it. It ain't gonna do them no good. And they are there for a purpose. That's when we were absolutely sure that they had a reason for inviting us to the program. And when we got there, if you remember, I'm going up to the guys, hey man, you still in Kansas City? As soon as we walk in. Because when we go there, I already know almost all the people pulling all the strings. So we want to see, did they invite us there to, well, like the brother from South Africa, he came a couple of weeks ago, right? He said, well, I'll be back, and I'm right now over in, such and such a place. So, when the snitch called me and said he might be coming and he wants to come, he says, can I give him your number? I said, of course you can, of course, it's one of our own folks, So, I stayed behind and didn't go to California because I wanted to see maybe they gonna, they're gonna make a course correction. You know what I mean? About us. Because they've collaborated, that's our team. But they've collaborated against us. Everybody. All the time. For the Negroes, I'm telling you, in '88 at the headquarters, Fareed got the whole video. All the Negroes, so-called meeting of Negro imams. And I remember the 4 questions. I said, now I heard them plotting on the poor brother downstairs in the bathroom because they had, over here is the sinks. And right there is the toilet part. I'm right there in the toilet part, and Sheikh Kinder and Al-Amin. Y'all see it from New York. Mm-hmm. Al-Amin walks in, he's moderating the program. Musa's coming up next is after Maghrib, so Kinder is saying, 2 feet away from me, he can read out that he's behind the bathroom. Musa is right there, and he's running. I just wait till they all leave and come on out and make wudu just like I ain't heard nothing, because I already know who they are. But I stood up and asked 4 questions. I said, what is an Islamic State? Is Iran an Islamic State? Are Shias Muslims, and shouldn't we support them? They literally turned around. I said, it's all right. Basically, I said something similar to this. I said, the white man gonna stick his foot in all our behinds. No, I didn't say that. Ours. I said, y'all's behind. I said, yes, he is. Yeah, well, abdul-alim quick said, I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. I said, that's why I'm talking about it now. Because I was in the class last year when you talked about it, and you ain't nothing but I call him a police. You're a snitch and a police. That's Abdul-Alim quick. Anyway, here's the point. When we out there last week, and some of the other visitors that we've had, we were wondering, okay, we sending all, signal diplomacy is when you send out a signal and they pick up the signal. Signal diplomacy is something that's going on during Clinton's time with Iran and the U.S. And I told them, you're wasting your time. But they kept sending good signals, and the U.S. never sent them a good signal back. But anyway, we're always open. So I was waiting to see what our brother had to say about when he come from the South African brother. Well, basically nothing. I said, okay, they still, no matter what we do, because we've told them the big shots in person, in detail. This is what's going to happen in South Africa. I'm sorry. So not just because they're niggas, but the ANC, they're not going to do anything, So they're not going to build 5 million homes. They're not going to do anything like that. They might $200,000. They're not going to do it. because they already had the Jomo Kenyatta syndrome down, you know, what he did to the Mau Mau's own people, the people who fought the rebellion. You know, the people who fight the rebellion, usually when the rebellion is over, the politicians get power. Or the brothers that was at the top, and they forget about it. They don't bring all the people along. That's what Iran has been trying to do with me. I said, you didn't make me and you can't break me. So you might as well, you wasting your time. This thing all the foreigners believe. Isna. They all believe, since they control the agenda, they gotta control you. I tell them, my name is not Siraj Musa. I'm not Hamza Yusuf Musa. That's not my name. That's not my name. I'm not like them niggas. You can do what you want with them. We have, and we'll get to it a little bit later, Islamic movement to deal with. So we'll try to continue and not get diverted too much. National War of Liberation. That's what our stages are. To liberate the agenda in America for the good of Islam. That's right. We have to liberate the agenda. The agenda, the money, the wealth. We're going to teach Islam to the people. That's what we're going to do. Just look what the ayat said. We're going to do that. As-Sabiqun Liberation Movement. SLM. That's a big deal because in Arabic, SLM, if you want to look up Muslim, Islam, Taslim, you look under Salama, not Islam. If you want to look up Muslim, you don't look under memes, you look under Salama.
That's the root word.
That's the root word.
That's the root.
That's the root word. So, and also, slow. As-Sabiqun Liberation Organization. We call it slow. But see, it's a code word for delay. You know, we always, the hadith on delay. In other words, we take our time. Psychological asymmetric warfare. We've been doing it, and we're still doing it, and we're going to keep on doing it. Psychological guerrilla warfare is, the brother wanted to, he looked up and he couldn't find it. I said, no. Psychological guerrilla warfare was a prototype. I have some of these, the whole, this was from 2009, but most of it is on guerrilla warfare. And what we did, we changed all the titles of the specific part to psychological guerrilla warfare. We've been doing it all the time. In other words, we took the great guerrilla war strategies. Now remember, they placed the book down there so that we could really re-hooked on guerrilla warfare. War in the Shadows, 2,000 years of guerrilla warfare. Great book. It is really good. When it shows about William Wallace, it's only 2.5 pages about William Wallace. You know, Braveheart? It's almost exactly word for word as the movie in brief. It's a good book. They placed it down there, so, I'll see that book, and they know what I like to read. I love that. That's because they wanted us to be on the physical level. So we incorporated and took notes and reread and got everything on guerrilla warfare, which we already knew from 30, 40 years before. We studied in Algeria. That's the first thing they gave us. Selected works, Chairman Mao Zedong. Felix Green, The Enemy. And those are the books I use them, and Survive, Evade, and Escape, a military manual. Anyway, long story short, What we have been doing before and now, for the last decades, we've been applying psychological guerrilla warfare to physical guerrilla warfare tactics. In other words, we're fighting a mental war because we don't have the wherewithal, nor I don't believe it's our mission to fight a physical war during this period of time. It's not a physical, confrontation. So that's what asymmetric warfare is also. It's like asymmetric warfare. Symmetric warfare is Germany and Japan fighting against Britain and the U.S. and all that. They're two big powers, all of them are big, but they got the same type of machinery and all of that. And the war will be fought in physical terms. And whoever has the most machinery and the most planes and the best tactics will win. Asymmetric warfare is us. When it's a small group, small resources, we have to, the highest level of warfare is when you get the enemy to use his material and his wherewithal on your behalf. But that's what we did with the media. We got Daniel Pipes, Abe Foxman, Steve Emerson to write about us and all of their things. They made us very popular. Mission, liberation, struggle. Liberate the Islamic movement from foreign control and domination. Inferiority complexes, sold out leadership, liberate the agenda, liberate minds from defeatism and attitude and self-image. And national mobilization, we'll talk about that a little later. There's a time coming sooner than before. Remember, we had a plan. 2017 was our, man, you ought to see. I got my travel guides out. I got my old, brand new one. It's 2009 South American Handbook. It has all hotels in every city. That's a good little history book. I use it to travel before because I could go anywhere in South America, and of course the CIA gave it to me so that way they can, if I go to all of these places, they can keep watch on me, So no, this is for tourists. This thing came out before the CIA. It's been out for 90 years almost. South American Handbook. But the CIA gave it to me because I was traveling around a lot, so they don't want to lose me. So you go, you can't lose you in South America. So here's the name of all the hotels. This is how much it costs to get to them. This is the kind you like, reasonable quality, cheap place, you know what I mean? And close to the people. Not way up in a hotel plaza, but right in the residences, they call them. So anyway, I got all of them. I got the travel guide for New Zealand, Australia, I got everything. And I got my travel guide for Africa again, and I read all the stuff about Tanzania, and I got Botswana. I got all the spots. It's just nice to read. But we're setting that aside. No Great Wall of China. Because the period here, believe it or not, is a very serious and fruitful period. It is a period that always came. When I realized it was 1968, it was after a lot of challenge from the government and life in general, I pulled back for a while. I just pulled back. I said, shoot, I got $25,000. It don't sound like much now. I got 2 Cadillacs, so I don't need to do nothing. If I have 25 grand, that means I could cruise alone for 5 years, and everything I got is paid for. I don't have to $25,000. In those days, it's like $250,000 now. So anyway, But all that period, I was daydreaming. I didn't realize what daydreaming about the next phase. Man alive. When we come out of that, it took 3 months. I was visualizing businesses, limousines pulling off, and all that stuff. I was just daydreaming, smoking that good stuff, and daydreaming. Listen to the Temptations and all that is nice. And once we kicked in, it took 3 months to do the whole show. The whole show was done in 3 months. It was a shock. So, like that period of kind of pulling back and relaxing, I mean, I didn't retire 100%. I'd make about $50 or $100 a day, so I wouldn't spend old money. Just a little, it's like, except not making $500 a day now, just to have spending money, pocket money. So old money belongs back there. You don't spend old money, except keep a few dollars and you generate. So the next stage is all new money. Everything that we talked about is happening now, exactly, except there is a possibility that when we sue those people out there, sue them for $10 million, somebody said $40 million, it don't make a difference. Here's why it don't make a difference. Because the worst thing they could have did was thought they attacked the money. I use the same principles when we was a dope dealer. I said, fine. We started from flat-footed, and now we back to having enough money to carry out our struggle. 2017, 18, and 19. We don't have enough to do the whole project, but the Quran, we're following. This is the biggest help that they don't know how much a help it was, because I always depended on a certain amount of money. I always because I saw what money meant to everybody else. Number one, I outgrew the use of money. You can tell the way I live, but I don't care much about what it buys. But I know that, just like it says in Najib Balaga, it says that a rich man feels at home anywhere he goes, but a poor man feels like a stranger even in his own home. It's true. What I mean to say is, if you don't have money, you can tell the truth all day long, and it don't make a difference. Because if you knew anything, you wouldn't be broke. That's the way people think, and you can't make them not think that way. Those are certain things that we've always did. The reason we ain't never been hurt too bad by the white man, because we know what they think and how they believe and how they act. So this foolishness helped me lose the two things. One, we gave a lot of our reserve money to a friend of ours. That was a big help. But we still jumped right back in a hurry to get some more money. And this was wonderful. That we don't throw money away, but we don't feel the same way about money as we did, say, last year. Why? Because Allah showed you got to get above the way you're headed down. You're going to have to be like Fidel. You know what Fidel means? Fidelity. It means faith. Fidel's name is faith. He had faith in what he was doing. Fidelity, right? Fidelity savings, fidelity insurance, something like that, right? Fidelity means trust. You can trust that. It means Iman means trust, faith, all of that. So anyway, so we can have a little fidelity around here. Faith in what we're doing. No, it's really a big deal that Allah at the right time transforms you from one level to another. This level that we're going on, is a big deal. Now, we have been playing all the time. You gotta, if you look at where are we, how did we get here, and what have we done? Okay, we've broken all the Negro records. We have broken every Negro record. Our study guides that we've been using is top of the line. What we've been using right here, y'all see what we studied. We studied Sharia, we studied everything. We studied it, okay? So, the crew that was with us, something was wrong because they all left. And you have to examine, did we do anything to them? Did we, no matter who they are, they're nice people, but where are they at? If they're praying around the corner, are they doing something equal or better than this? I don't think so. I think that whatever they're doing, they're hiding around here. They gotta be hiding, or they're just running off, or it was their time to come here. But the way Allah hook you up, you do all, Allah had us preparing for this time at that time. All the lessons, everything, because that, and I mean, we knew it at the time. We knew who we was dealing with. We know if a guy's living across the street, when we bought this building, first thing we looked at is looked at everybody living around. By the time we moved over here, they had shifted a whole crew over there. And so we knew if somebody strolled over here, I just want to be a part of y'all, well, fine. Well, we already know what we got, you know. But we've always known what we've had. We know what we're dealing with, we know who we're dealing with. But we have confidence in it because eventually, just like we evolve and we grow individually, so will everybody else. There'll come a time when each person will realize that we have to make a big step and a big change. I'm trying to speed up. National mobilization, project management. Project management is the physical things that we're going to do, like fundraising, community development. Community development, Masjid, school, business, housing is still a vehicle. How are we going to get all that? What's the root? We never will do like other people and leave the root of what you are, Masjid. When we teach all the so-called people, all or whoever comes, don't make no difference. If it's 100, that's fine. If it's 10, that's fine. If it's 5, that's plenty. Don't make no difference. Okay. Masjid in each city, school, business, housing. Okay, the Masjid will be simple and easy. Very easy. Very, very easy. And Allah will make up for us what